Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nikki, and for today's video, we are going to be doing my June reading wrap up. This month was rough. I have some really great books, and then I have a lot of palette cleansers, and let's just say my palette is cleansed, and July needs to rock before I go into a slump. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about the 10 books I read in June. For starters, I read The Deal by Elle Kennedy. Okay, I made the mistake of watching Off Campus first and then starting the series. I'm not gonna lie, maybe I'm too old. I'm 31, but honestly, I didn't like it. I understood the story because I watched Off Campus and I loved the show. I loved the actors. I loved how everything played out. It was just a really great show. But I hated this book. I'm not going to lie. I finished it just because I want to read this series, but I did not like it. I gave it a 3, and I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's just me, but the writing felt really young. It really felt like I was back in college in 2015, which I know that's when the book was written. And just by the dialogue of the characters, that's exactly what it felt like. I was in college in 2015. If you totally love sports romances and you love the show and you really, want to be involved in this universe, then yes, but I'll finish Off Campus. I don't know if I'm going to do the Campus Diaries and Briar U. We'll kind of see. For now, this is a maybe. The next book I read is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This book my coworker gave to me. She gave me a couple of them. Okay. This one is a maybe for me. I know this series is really popular, but honestly, I don't know. He was the male main character. He was just a big baby. He was a big baby, and I didn't really like it. I gave it a 3.5, but honestly, mainly that half is just for the female main character. I really loved her, but the male main character, he was just a crybaby wah. And it follows these 3 brothers who inherit this amusement park from their grandfather. They have these things that they have to accomplish in order to respect their grandfather's wishes about the amusement park. And this one follows one of the brothers, Rowan. Like I said, this one's a maybe. I know it's well loved. I've seen it everywhere, but I don't know. Maybe it was just writing, but it wasn't really for me. The next book I'm going to insert a picture. It was Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. This was another book that my coworker also gave me, and she told me that was her prized possession, so I gave it back. This book I gave 3 stars. It's not a bad book, okay? The premise is absolutely wild. It's about these women who get kidnapped by aliens, and then they get stranded on this island, and the female main character falls in love with an alien, and it's crazy, but it's really good. Surprisingly, it was really good. I really liked it, and let me tell you, okay, an alien man written by a woman. Not to spoil it too much, but in the end, he says her only job is to not do anything, just to relax. She's not in charge of anything. She doesn't have to cook. She doesn't have to clean. She doesn't have to do nothing. Nothing. She doesn't have to provide. He said, my love, I'm the provider. You relax. Okay? If there's anything to want in a man, it is that. And like I said, the premise is wild. The whole book was wild. But somehow I did really enjoy that one. It is a maybe, though. It is a very specific niche. I know there's like 20 books in that series or something like that. But if you're interested in monster romances, then I definitely recommend that one. Okay, the next book is Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. I know everybody loves this book. And maybe her writing is just not for me. I did give it 4 stars because I do love the male main character. But honestly, the female main character in this book pisses me off. Oh my gosh. I just wanted to tell her to shut up. Like, what do you mean you don't know why your husband left you? Okay, if you don't know anything about this book, it's about a woman. She gets left the day before her wedding, and the husband leaves her a note that says, I love you, but I can't marry you. And she ends up going on her honeymoon with her male best friend. Okay? Okay. And it's just like things like that. Like, really, you don't know why your almost husband left you with a friendship like that. You've been childhood best friends with this man. And in the beginning, she's like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything without Georgie. I need him here. And it's like, really? Really? You don't know why? And I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people love this book. There were parts that I did really like about it. Like, I did enjoy the male main character, George. But other than that, maybe it's her writing. I don't know. But I did not like the female main character in this book, which leads me to the next book, okay? Maybe I just don't like any of the female main characters in Carly Fortune's books, because then I read Every Summer After. Okay, Target had a special on all of her books, and so I bought a ton of them because everyone was raving about them. And then when I told my coworker, the one that had given me the books, that I was going to read this one because I just read Our Perfect Storm, and she gave me an insight at what happens, and why is that a trope? Like, why is that a trope that everybody likes? And why is everybody so obsessed with this book? I hate read it. I'm not gonna lie. I read this book. I gave it 2 stars. The female main character, once again, I hated her. I hated her so much. She's so awful. Like, he literally is saying, I want to be with you, but I want to wait and finish school. And she's like, oh, he doesn't want me. So I'm going to go with everyone else. And I don't know. Everybody loves this book. Everybody loves the show. I'm not going to watch the show. I don't really want, because I have the one with the brother, Our Golden Summer. And I will be reading it. But honestly, maybe it's her writing. And that's why I don't like it. But so far, the Carly Fortune books have not been a hit for me. Okay, probably my favorite book of the month is Binding 13. I freaking love this book. I was a little nervous at first just because the characters are under 18. And for me personally, it puts me off, mainly because I have kids myself. So I don't really like to read about anyone under 18. But the writing in this, amazing. I loved it. It was so heartbreaking. I'm starting the next one, Keeping 13. I didn't have any insight onto this series. I just knew it was sad. I haven't really watched any videos about it. But oh my goodness, it is freaking sad. It follows these 2 kids, Johnny and Shannon, at the school in Ireland. And Shannon just has the most heartbreaking life. She, for whatever reason, has been publicly outcasted in the public school in Ireland, and she was bullied severely. And at home, she's experiencing extreme child abuse from her parents. And it is just, her story is just so sad. And then she gets sent to this other school for her safety, where she meets a rugby player, Johnny, and Johnny is having his trials in his rugby career. But Shannon catches his eye, and their story develops and how he wants to protect her and be there for her. And she is just this young girl who I pray, I am so scared for what's to come, because I know it's just really sad, but you know, and I know there's still more books coming out from Chloe Walsh. Once again, like I said, this was my favorite book of the month, easily, and I'm really looking forward to the next one, even though I know it's just going to break my heart. 5 stars. 5 stars. Easy 5 stars. The next book I read, The Someday Garden by Ashley Poston. Okay, this was probably my most anticipated read of 2026, and I'm sad to say I was disappointed. Like, extremely disappointed. I'm still mad about it. I read it a couple weeks ago because I bought it the day it came out, and honestly, I'm so disappointed. I love all her books, okay? I love the magical realism. Every single one that I read from her, especially the 7-Year Slip, has been my favorite. So I was totally looking forward to it. I hated it. I can't say I hated it. I gave it a 3.5 stars just because I do love her. But I don't know, the timeline was weird with them. It's about this girl. She's going through a rough time after losing her best friend, and she starts working in this magical garden where she finds this man. But while this man is trapped in the garden, he's also out in real life, and then they have this event that's coming up, and that's where the story kind of ties together. It had a lot of parts in there, like little tidbits that she added that didn't really make sense, that were kind of weird. The timeline was weird because she does have insta love in all of her books, but this didn't feel like love. It felt more lustful, and I don't know. The epilogues, there were certain parts that I did like about this book. Like, of course, I like the magical realism, but once again, I feel like she was more in love with her best friend that passed away than she was with the male main character. It just didn't do it for me. And like I said, I'm so sad because I was really looking forward to this book. But, I mean, there's always next time, I guess. The next book I read is In Good Company by Kat Singleton. I only bought this because I watched a video review about it and I thought it was intriguing. I gave it a 3 stars. It's not for me. If you like insta love, insta lust, then yes, I highly recommend it. But other than that, there's no relationship building. The characters felt very shallow. If you like reality TV shows, even though this isn't based on a reality TV show, then I think you'll like this book. Just the drama and the instant, I want you, then yes, you will like this book. And there's 4 chapters of spicy scenes. This almost put me into a reading slump. It took me a little bit, but I powered through it. For me, it's a no. I don't think I'll read the other ones. For me, it's a no. But maybe if the insta love, insta lust is your thing, then yes. The last 2 books are my palette cleansers. And like I said, my palette is cleansed. Okay? 100% cleansed. I need to get back to my romance books. I read The Road to Tender Hearts by Annie Hartnett. I loved this book. I loved it. It is really weird. Okay, really, really weird. It does have a lot of dark humor, but I did enjoy it. It follows this man, PJ, and he has a lot of relationship trauma throughout his life. And after he lost his eldest daughter, he became an alcoholic and he slowly started to crumble. But he did win the lottery. He is a lottery winner. So he did have something go up for him. He comes into guardianship of his niece and nephew after they had their share of relationship trauma. He decides to take them on this trip because he wants to impress this woman at the Tender Hearts retirement home. Hence the name of the title, The Road to Tender Hearts. And along on their road trip is his surviving daughter, Sophie. And it follows their relationships. And this little road trip, I don't want to say any more to spoil it too much. But honestly, I love this book. It was very different from anything I read. It was wacky. It was fun. It was so sweet. Like I said, it had a lot of dark humor in it. But again, 5 stars. 5 stars. This saved me from my reading slump, even though at first it was a little wonky and I wasn't sure where it was going. But like I said, palate is cleansed. The next book I read that was also given to me is The Post Office Girl. And once again, very different. My palate is cleansed, but I did really enjoy this book. It follows this woman post World War I in Austria, where everyone was left in poverty, and she works at the post office, where all she does is work and then go home to her tiny little room with her mother, whom is sick, and she's miserable. She's very, very miserable. But she gets a telegram to visit her aunt, who is very wealthy. She lives in America, and so she goes on a little vacation where she gets a taste of the lavish life. She gets to stay in this nice hotel room, she gets clean clothes, she gets good food, and she just comes to life. But then her aunt sends her home very suddenly, very abruptly, and that lavish lifestyle is taken away from her, and she's back to her miserable post. And then she meets this guy, and he also has his shared feelings of misery post-war. And then they get a little Bonnie and Clyde at the end, and the story takes a twist. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I wasn't sure where it was going. I really like the twist at the end. I like how it leaves you sort of on a cliffhanger, and it leaves you to speculate what ended up happening. It is a really short read. Once again, very different from what I normally read, but I really, really enjoyed this one. And that is all from the 10 books I read this month. Like I said, it was a bit of a wonky month. I had some great reads. I had some not so great reads, but overall, not terrible. And I'm really looking forward to July, so stay tuned for my July TBR. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what books you read in June. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.